Hey everyone, today I'll show you how to build an auto-scrolling infinite carousel in SwiftUI with transitions, gestures and more in under 4 minutes. Let's get right into it. First, let's define a simple card model. We'll keep it lightweight, just a color and a title variable. Now inside our main view, we'll add a few more variables, a current index to track the active card, show previous to handle the direction of the transition, a timer that fires every 3 seconds, and a sample dataset with 3 cards. You can add more cards if you want, but for this tutorial we'll only keep it 3. Now let's build the UI. We'll remove the existing V stack and replace it with a Z stack. Inside the Z stack we'll add a for each loop to loop through the cards. Now we only want to show one card at a time and that card should be the card at the current index. So we'll add an if condition in which we'll match if the index is equal to the current index. For the card UI, let's add a simple rounded rectangle and we'll use the foreground style to pass the color of the card. And we'll set the title as an overlay. We'll use text to show the title and let's also modify the font and the foreground color. Now to achieve the infinite carousel effect, we'll use the transition modifier. Transition modifier takes a lot of properties like scale, opacity, identity. We'll use the asymmetric modifier because it allows us to pass in custom insertion and removal. For the insertion we'll do .move.trailing and for the removal we'll add .move.leading. Next, let's set the height of the card to 240 using the frame modifier and we'll also add a padding of 24. Now it's time to set up the auto scroll logic. We'll use the .onReceive modifier and pass the timer that we declared above, and inside the block we'll set show previous to false and we'll use a with animation block in which we'll increment the current index by 1. We are also doing a modular operation so that once the index exceeds 2, it goes back to 0. And yeah, with this logic the auto scroll will start working now. Once it reaches 3, it will go back to 1. Okay, now let's also add a swipe gesture to the card to swipe left and right. For this, we'll add a gesture modifier and inside it, we'll use a drag gesture. And then we'll use the onEnded function to achieve our goal. Let's set the threshold value to 100. That will be the minimum value for the drag gesture to work. Next, we'll compare the width translation. If it's less than the threshold, it means a left swipe was made. And in this case, we'll just do the same action as what the timer does. If the width translation is greater than the threshold, then it's a right swipe, in which case we'll set the show previous card to true and we'll use a with animation modifier in which we'll decrement the current index, but this time we'll also add cards count before doing a mod operation. We're almost there guys, we just need to do one more thing. We need to reverse the edges of the transition if the value of the show previous card is true. Before adding the conditions, let's move the insertion and the removal transitions to a separate line. Now we'll simply use a ternary operator based on the value of show previous card and flip the edges. And that's it, you now have a fully working auto and manual scrolling infinite carousel in SwiftUI. If you found this video helpful, give it a like and subscribe for more SwiftUI content. See you in the next one, bye!